Hey, brothers and sisters, I just want to give a word. I'm going to start off with the sisters. I'm going to jump into it as well for the brothers, of course. Um, I'm hoping, God willing, He leads in His spirit, that I'm like a surgeon with my words. And I pray right now, yeah, Lord, you just move mightily in regards to my tongue, and that it is sharp like a surgeon with his tools in regards to cutting, and cutting out that which needs to be cut out, and precise and sharp, but also that I'm gentle, because surgeons aren't just butchering away, right? So you got to have that finesse to be sharp but yet be gentle, and to be precise, and most importantly be loving. So this video is definitely for, as I mentioned, brothers and sisters, but I'm being really, really specific. This is for those who are in the body, who at least claim to be in the body, who maybe do believe, or who have said they believed, or who have accepted the Lord, or anything of that nature. Like, you believe in the Messiah and you're like, I've accepted him, whether you've strayed for 10 years, 5 years, or you're kind of just getting a revival right now, or whatever, at any point, doesn't matter. This is for you who believes in the Messiah, the Son of the Most High. And I'm starting out with the daughters. I don't know if y'all understand how much the men are struggling, and how obliterated so many of them are, and how weak so many of them are. Of course, they have their things that one day they'll stand before God on their own accountability. I will get into that too, because they're supposed to be strong. That's one of the parts about being a man, is being a leader and protector. In order to protect, you have to be strong. In order to lead, you have to be strong. You need strength. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not getting into that right now quite yet. But what I'm saying is there's so many men and or boys, however you want to look at it, that are struggling. They are getting obliterated day in and day out. By what? The great whore. By sexual morality. By lust. You guys got to understand. Angels left their place in heaven to turn against God, yes, but also to take up wives on earth. Are we not processing this? Like, angels saw women and wanted to take them as wives. That's how beautiful women are. So if angels were willing to do it and lusted after woman, what does man have a chance for? Do we not know of David? God said David's a man after my own heart. And yet he plotted. He didn't just have a moment of lust and temptation and then fell in and backslid. He plotted and planned for a period of time to kill Uriah and take Bathsheba. The point is if angels lusted after women and took up wives, how is man going to stand a chance unless the divine Most High God is dwelling in them? That's the only way, and that was always the only way. But what I'm saying is that when these men are slacking on their relationship with God, slacking with making sure they're clinging to the shepherd, because we're little sheep running around, we don't stand a chance without our shepherd. If we're not focused up on, oh, I've strayed too far from the shepherd and I'm out of the flock, and then all of a sudden, boom, a woman comes along being immodest, being sexually immoral, or enticing, seducing, putting out sensuality vibes, lusting, things of that nature. Being the woman on the ledge, cat calling out, hey, my husband's gone far off, who's going to bed with me? And these sheep aren't focused and with their shepherd and being vigilant and sober-minded, like God tells us. He's not going to stand a chance. He's not going to stand a chance. He's going to get obliterated. And that's what's happening. And that's why I'm specifically talking. See, it's not that I'm talking to the non-believers, because they know not what they do, right? But for you to say you know what you do and know what you believe and know the Lord and believe in the Lord, while simultaneously doing the things that he hates and that he says not to do, how can you say that? He says you'll either love one or hate the other in regards to master, who you serve. The Most High God seeks us for us to not be getting obliterated by sexual morality. Both parties involved, man and woman. The same goes for men on this role. Everything I'm saying about this role does flip in regards to men doing the same thing. But be not deceived. Women have a way stronger pull and capability of seduction. Facts. Angels left their heavenly place to come sleep with women. There is no rebuttal to it. That's your answer. I know many of you never even pondered that, and that's totally fine. But now the debate is settled. This was never to be a debate. And the only reason there was a debate was because out of a pride and arrogance to rise up, who is man to say this to me? This has nothing to do with man. This has everything to do with God and the order God has made things. You think those angels aren't going to get justice and God's vengeance poured out on? Oh, they absolutely will. So sadly, because we don't get to see that, we don't have that mighty fear of, I better not do the same thing the angels did. But sadly, because we're so foolish and God has given us over to our own reprobate minds because we've chosen to reject him, we are walking in that same damnation as the angels. But God willing, we're walking with the shepherd. And we know I better not do that. I better be focused. I better stay with my shepherd. I better take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. I better walk with the Messiah. I better deny my flesh. I better deny that sexual morality. Why do you think it's everywhere? Why do you think all social medias, it's flooded? Why do you think all malls, it's flooded with women dressing provocative in regards to the marketing and social networking and social marketing, all of it? Why do you think it's always naked or almost naked, sensual women? Because they know there's power in them. The angels were the ones that first came. They know how enticing and seducing it is. And the devil's using that as a powerful tool, a powerful weapon to destroy who? God's children. He's attempting to. God's true children. Who can snatch God's children out of his hand? Nobody. But God seeks to have many. He wants so many. He's trying to grab so many. He wants you adopted in his kingdom. But if the one thing you have is free will. The one thing you have is free will. And for you to willingly reject him, what can he do about that? You willfully reject him. And it's not like I said, you go astray like a true sheep. You run off, go astray, and then you realize, oh, dang, I've gone astray. What am I doing? I'm tripping. Where's my shepherd? I'm so far off, I can't hear him. Don't worry, daddy does come. Abba comes. Father comes, yes. But it's another thing to willfully and consistently and continuously stray and never want to talk to the shepherd again, never want to be with the shepherd again. That's what I'm saying. We can't accept the Lord and then go do this, because you're not only bringing yourself into destruction and damnation, we were bringing so many other people in. And I don't think y'all understand, woman, how much you entice, seduce, lead, and being a stumbling block to men. Well, I think you do know. So I'm not going to play it as if you're ignorant, but because God's not going to let it slide either. God's not going to be like, oh, well, she didn't know, even though I told her 1 billion times. Yeah, right. The Holy Spirit's been convicting and there's been the conscience. So yes, there's that aspect. But I'm saying, like, you got to get that relationship with the Lord where it's like, I don't want to be making men stumble in that way. Like, yes, there's a balance in it all, but when you're walking around with your cheeks out and your breasts out and wearing, like, every day, like wearing yoga pants up your crack, no, like nothing everywhere. What do you think our little girls are dressing up? That's what the little girls are doing now. Because they're seeing mama and they're seeing the parents been doing it for a minute. They're seeing the girls in college do it. These little 12-year-old, 15-year-old girls growing up learning that's the way it is now. This is how we do. We all hoe and whore. That's what's happening. How are you not grieved about that? And the men, the same goes on the men. To not only give in, because you have the men that are either give in, stay neutral, and then the ones that are willing to speak. And we need more of that. We need Davids. We need Davids who are going to speak up to that Goliath and call him the uncircumcised Philistine who's blaspheming my God. He's going to whoop you down. God gave me the power to kill the lion and the bear. I will destroy and kill you. That's what we need. We need our warriors to start calling this out, because we're watching everybody get obliterated. It's one thing, as I said, if these women are not followers, they don't proclaim to be, but to proclaim you're a follower while also whoring, that's unacceptable. And the same goes for the men. To proclaim you're a follower of the Lord while being a coward. How is that acceptable? What part of that is acceptable in any regard? To be a coward and to be a bum and to be lazy and, oh, I don't want to deal with it. That's a tough problem. I'm just going to go in my house and act like nothing's happening while I'm watching my daughter run around whoring. What? How is that acceptable as a man, as a father? In what regard? As I said, I'm just hoping that this touches whoever's heart, because we need accountability, y'all. We need God. God bless.